The JT Miller you know today is a bona fide star. Since 2020, when he joined the Vancouver Canucks, this dynamic two-way center is 10th in league scoring, and the Canucks sit well atop the NHL's Pacific Division. But 10 years ago, this same player was living a nightmare that wouldn't end for the better part of a decade. Miller, a player who possessed all the tools to be a complete player, was about to redefine what it meant to be a late bloomer. JT Miller is used to negative attention. He was sent down to the AHL 6 different times throughout the 2014 season, then as a member of the New York Rangers. He was 21 years old when Alain Vigneault, his coach, told the New York Post that Miller's effort was, quote, subpar. Vigneault was blunt, and he said JT has to figure it out, but that if he doesn't, he'll be a good minor league player. Miller told The Athletic, "This moment, these quotes, are something he'll remember forever." And yet, this was hardly rock bottom. February 26, 2018. Miller is 35,000 feet high in the sky on a charter flight to, of all places, Vancouver. At the time, still a member of the Rangers, and the trade deadline was minutes away. The plane was buzzing with rumors, and Miller was no stranger to being part of those rumors. On that very flight, the center, learning he'd been moved, a trade to Tampa Bay, forcing him to fly cross-country all the way back to New York, then to Tampa, only to get traded again 1 year later to, you guessed it, the Vancouver Canucks. Considering his point totals since joining the Canucks, you would think that's where his nightmare ended. It took him 8 seasons to become a point-per-game player, but even then, many questioned his attitude, his temperament, and his leadership, especially in 2023, a season marked by frustrating moments, slamming doors, and throwing teammates under the bus publicly. But as it turned out, this chaotic existence was the prologue to Miller's emergence as a pivotal force in the NHL. Now, the concept of a late bloomer in sports is often a misnomer, suggesting a sudden burst onto the scene. But in Miller's case, it's a testament to gradual growth, to years of honing skills and resilience, with the growth curve extending into his late 20s. Very unusual. Miller, the 15th overall pick by the Rangers in 2011, never quite took off in New York. By age 23, he'd scored 132 points in 278 games, but progress was slow enough that it seemed he'd reached his ceiling. And yet, if you look for a pattern of growth in hindsight, underneath the anger and the frustration, it was there all along. His assist totals quietly, incrementally improving with every passing year, leading to an explosion of offensive output in Vancouver. Now, at age 30, Miller is one of the best passers in the game. He matches a dominant frame with adept skating, a great shot, and noteworthy hockey sense. Here's just some of his body of work so far, with Miller scoring and dishing out passes alongside Quinn Hughes, a Norris Trophy candidate. It's no wonder the Canucks have the second-ranked offense. In the case of Miller, everyone knew he was good, but no one knew he was this good. And now, as the team is winning, the masses have taken notice. They say winning cures everything, but is there more at play here? Let's go back recently to January 27th. With the team winding down into the All-Star break, the Canucks were down 3 goals to a shoddy Columbus Blue Jackets team. They could have gone quietly into the night, and no one would have noticed. But instead, Miller set to work doing what he's done all season, notching 3 assists in a comeback effort. It's this very persistence, and what was a quiet accumulation of skill and hockey IQ along the way, that defined his late blooming. Today he bears eerie resemblance to his own head coach, Rick Tocchet, who exhibited a similarly powerful two-way game. As for his old coach, Vigneault, Miller's attitude toward him now, in hindsight, is telling of just how far he's come. Miller credits Vigneault as a great coach that made him the player he is. And to think his cap hit comes in at just $8 million, and he's locked in for the decade? And after years of turmoil around this time of year, Miller, who once said the trade deadline can be, quote, a nightmare, can finally rest his soul when March 8th rolls around. And he'll need it, because when the playoffs come soon after, the people will be watching. Will the resilience that got him here pay off in prime time? Or will the frustrations of yesteryear rear their ugly head again? What do you think? As always, thanks for your support, and I'll catch you next time on Goal Zone Hockey.